What's up guys? So I just wanted to go ahead and share this potato soup recipe with you. Here on my channel, this is just making you feel comfortable and confident with the foods that you make while also enjoying things that you love when it comes to food, because a lot of times when you're a trainer or when people get personal trainers, they kind of feel like they need to cut out foods, and you really don't need to do that. So here I'm going to show you a potato soup recipe. So I already have mine pan warmed up. So I like cooking with butter. I normally use stick butter. And if you hear any baby noises in the background, I apologize. I just have my sous chef. Sorry, I have my sous chef watching me. So I already have my pan warmed up. Now I like adding sausage into my potato soup. So I have a beef version because I don't really enjoy pork for personal reasons. So pork, I'm sorry, got my beef sausage link out. So in this recipe, I forgot to say, you're gonna need sausage, okay? You're going to need potatoes. So food preparation, if you already have potatoes in your fridge, great, because you already have them cut up. If you don't, I would probably recommend about 4 to 5 potatoes if you want to make a nice big soup so that you can have for leftovers if you want to have it for later. So what I'm going to do here is go ahead and cut this guy up. And put this in here to brown the sausage, the beef sausage. So if you notice, I didn't add any seasoning. I just used butter in my pan. In my pan. And then I also have an onion. If you like onions, go ahead and add it because it's really delicious when you add it to potato soup. So going to cut this guy. If you want to add more onion, go for it. It's completely up to your taste buds. But if you are just starting out cooking, I would just use 1 onion and then go from there for your next time. The next time you make this, then you can kind of play around. So I'm somebody who wasn't always a great cook. I've had to learn how to cook, learn how to use spices. So if you are somebody that's just learning to, it's okay for you to play around with your food, okay? Don't feel bad for trying things out. If you do try things out, at least you know what you like and what you dislike. So, got these in a smaller form. I'm gonna go ahead and add this to the sausage. And then I'm gonna go ahead and turn up my heat. And then I'm just gonna brown these. Once I have the heat turned up, I'm just gonna let it simmer. And then what I'm gonna do here is go ahead and get my soup base ready. So here, I have my potatoes cut up. If you want to use baking potatoes, you can. Gold potatoes, yellow potatoes, red potatoes, you can use that. Potatoes, just going ahead and dumping this. See, this is why it's great to food prep, because you can just dump it all in there. My potatoes are done. Boom, got that done. And then now for adding. So I add garlic into my potato soup because I am a garlic and onion lover. If you are the same kind of person, you can definitely add this garlic. This garlic's great because it's already minced, so you don't have to actually mince up fresh garlic. But if you want to just add real fresh garlic, you can definitely do that. Like I was saying, I'm going to add garlic into this. So I love garlic. I'm going to go ahead and add a heaping teaspoon and another, so 2 heaping teaspoons. If you are not totally sure about garlic, I would just add 1. Test it out if you like it. If you want more in the next one, you can definitely add more. So I've already added that. Now, because I already have beef sausage, I'm going to go ahead and use beef bouillon cubes. So I'm going to add 4 of these little cubes in here. That's because 1 cube makes 1 cup of broth, and I'm going to add 4 cups of water into this. So guys, this is going to be like record time putting together a soup. So if you say you don't have time to do something, you are lying to yourself, you can actually do this. Especially if you have a crock pot or an Instapot, they come in handy and you can do 2 things at once. All right, 3, last one. Awesome, and 4, great. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that. Whew, dangerous. Okay, so I've got my beef bouillon in there. With soups, I love to add nutritional yeast. Not only does this give you B12, but it also gives you a really good amount of protein, and it's just a seasoning. This makes things taste cheesy, so I would definitely recommend this. This was something that I learned when I was trying to go vegetarian. This is a great supplementation for like a protein, okay? But like I was saying, it adds like a cheesy flavor to it. So if you like a cheesy potato soup, I'd go ahead and add this. Originally I started off with a serving size of 2 tablespoons, but once I got the taste of it and once I understood what it tasted like, I began to just add a ton. So I'm going to add my designated amount. I don't even know how much that is just because I love the taste of it so much. It's a nice cheesy flavor, so you can't go wrong with a nice cheesy flavor. So there. Again, just keep an eye out on your sausage and your onions while they are browning. Okay, still again, no seasoning to the onions and the sausage, just into the soup. So far I've added the 4 bouillon cubes, I've added nutritional yeast, garlic, and now I'm gonna go ahead and add just a little bit of Slappy Mama. This is an optional seasoning. If you do like a nice spice to it, you can definitely add it. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Again, this is an optional one, but the beef bouillon is a really good idea. So going to just sprinkle this on here. So now that I have that sprinkled, I'm going to go ahead and grab 4 cups of water. I've got my 4 cups of water. I'm going to add this into this bad boy. 4 cups, awesome. So now that is in there. And then, so I just have potatoes, sausage, onions in there so far. But I have kale that I have not used, and it's actually really good when you add kale into potato soup because it not only dehydrates the kale, but it also gives you a vegetable in your soup. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my kale. With kale, I just buy a bag of chopped kale because it's easier, and it's already in a package, it's already in small pieces, and I can just add this to my soup. So opening this guy. So when you're using leafy greens, be mindful that these are gonna dehydrate. So if you want to use the whole bag, which is what I try to normally do, it's not going to take up a lot of space once it's cooked. While when you put it in there originally, it's going to take space up just because it's dense right now, it's full of water. But like I said, once you cook it in the soup setting, it will dehydrate itself. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this. I use about, so that's 2 cups in here. I use about 1 cup. And then since this is already on a high heat and already brown, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this guy off. Put this straight into the soup, into the Instapot or your crock pot. So now you've got everything for your potato soup. You're gonna go ahead and get your top. Go ahead and close this down. Now that I have my ingredients in here, I am going to go ahead and press the soup setting. It's already turned on. And then just make sure that your vent is sealed. You don't want it to be venting. And then that is it. You just let the Instapot cook it, or if it's in a crock pot, you can cook it on low or high. If you're trying to do it in a faster time, you're gonna cook it on high. Just be sure to stir it. And then if you're leaving it in the crock pot, I just press the soup setting and just let it go from there. So that is how you make potato soup. So again, all you need is sausage. Again, you can do any kind of sausage. I just prefer beef sausage. You're going to need garlic. You're gonna need onions. You're also, if you're trying this nutritional yeast to make it more cheesy, it's really delicious. You can do that. It's great for soup bases. You're going to need a bouillon cube. So if you're using beef or pork, you can definitely use a beef bouillon just to add flavor to the broth. And then you'll also need, if you want to add some veggies or you have veggies that you want to use, you can add some kale. Spinach is also another good veggie. And then from there, you're going to need 4 cups of water for the broth. Just be sure you put the amount of broth, like the cubes for the water. Make sure the ratios are good. And then the optional ingredient here is gonna be sloppy mama. So that's done in pretty much 10 minutes or less. That is how you make potato soup very quickly. If you have everything prepared, have things in your fridge ready to go, you can just throw it in a crock pot and let it cook itself. And by the time somebody's home, ready for dinner, it's going to be done. So I hope you guys enjoy this. This is a channel that's going to teach you how to make food, feel confident in the decisions you make when it comes to food, and also teaching you how to make really cool, easy, fast recipes so that you can enjoy things at home rather than going out or having to buy things that are packaged. If you like this video, go ahead, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll continue making videos like this so that you can learn how to cook for yourself, one, and then two, still enjoy the food that you love to eat while maintaining a healthy balance in life. So I will see you guys next time. Bye. So I have the potato soup. It's finally done. I haven't vented it yet. It's been sitting here for 30 minutes. But this is the great thing about a crock pot or an Instant Pot. You can actually just leave the food in there and it'll stay warm. You can keep it on the keep warm setting too. So I'm gonna go ahead and vent this guy. Because this is done, now you have all the flavors cooked together. If you want to, you can go ahead and have salt readily available. If you like pepper in your soup, you can definitely have that as well. And then, like I was saying before earlier when I was making the soup, the kale is going to dehydrate, so it's not going to take as much space as it did originally. So if you want to add more kale to your soup, go for it. If you don't, if you feel like you have enough kale already in there, you can just leave it like that. I just have this available, so if I want to add more, I can add more. Okay, so now that this is able to open up, I'm going to go ahead and open this guy. So it already smells really good from here. So all I'm going to do is go ahead and stir this guy. So this is where you can play around with your seasoning. So I normally get like a teaspoon or tablespoon, whatever. And then I just taste the juice. So from there, you can kind of gauge what you want added or if there needs to be more seasoning in there or whatnot. So I'm definitely going to add a little bit of salt into my soup. And then I'm going to go ahead and add black pepper because I love black pepper in my potato soup. Now, if you are to look at this potato soup, the potatoes are still in clumps, okay? They're not fully mashed up. And that's the only thing you have to kind of be mindful of if you are making it in the Instant Pot. Like if you're wanting a really soupy potato soup, what I would recommend is go ahead and season it the way you want to. And then from here, what you can do is actually steam it. So go ahead and stir it. This is a good point to go ahead and add more kale. If you're going to re-steam your soup, you can definitely do that. You can do a steam or you can do a slow cook option if you are doing a Instant Pot. If you are doing a slow cook, if you're already in a crock pot, you can just put it on high and just keep letting it simmer until it's really broken down and fine. And nice and potato soupy. So again, just a retaste after adding the seasonings. Okay, that tastes better. Okay. And then from there, you can, like I was saying before, if you want to have it more soupy, you can go ahead and turn this off completely, and then you're going to press slow, turn it off. I'm going to go ahead, because I am trying to do this quickly, I'm going to go ahead and do the steam option, and I'm going to do it for 6 minutes. So it's just going to hardcore steam my soup for 6 minutes. And then from there, I'm just going to leave it, let it cook, adjust itself, and then I'll be able to have a nice finished potato soup. But if you are okay with whatever you have there, it's still going to taste like potato soup. The potatoes are nicely cooked. They're not hard. They're very nice and tender. But I just like it to be more soupy. So that's why I just did the steam option for an extra 6 minutes. And just make sure too, if you are doing this, that it's not venting. You want to have it sealed. So, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and just let this cook a little longer, and then I'm going to pan over it and show you the end result. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe.